finishing their mulligans. We have a little bit of blasphemy from Monsieur Rashaad with those Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves on us.
It's okay. We aren't a Bushiroad Grand tournament, so they are able to use whatever sleeves they feel best in this tournament. So
I do have to respect the taste, though.
To take a good remark over here. We are located in Orlando, Florida currently, and we have some people coming around and they're actually on the stream table from Tennessee and Texas.
Very fun, very fun. Always glad to see faces come out from abroad. We have some healthy competition going in, as we do have some very high-level players here. And we finally get to see the boogeyman of the evening. We get to see a Chronojet matchup today. See that crest coming down immediately. We are already in the action.
Yep, it does look like we are going to be getting the Chronojet crest coming on board. And it does look like he's going to try and go in for an early grade 1 rush, which is pretty much a solid call coming in because of what the crest will be doing later in the game.
8,000 Vanguard.
All right, here we go. Coming with 8K to the Vanguard. Does look like he gets the draw trigger, draws an additional card, and takes the point of damage.
Rashaad losing his Elementaria, so he is down 1 Sentinel, ladies and gentlemen. That is very, 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 very difficult to deal with, especially against Gear Chronicle. Pass, and he passes with a draw. No, that was no pass. Pardon.
All right, so I was having a little bit of issue to distinguish what the Maelstrom deck looked like.
Yeah, the stream camera does not help with the glare, sadly enough, friends. We were not able to get a better locale for the camera lighting.
Yeah, we'll need to probably find a small canopy or something to put in for tomorrow. But currently it does look like he's going to be whiffed. I'm about to say Elkstream, the Smoky Dragon going into swing with a GG boost. Bushik draw trigger, giving the power to the Vanguard, draws an additional card. Man, he is hitting those draw triggers on point today.
Nathaniel on fire with his trigger pulls, and these numbers very unfriendly to Rashaad.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Nathaniel's not taking any point of damage early in the game and proceeding to put Rashaad at 3 before.
As he loses another Persona ride. Very disheartening.
Yeah,
but we are able to get to grade 3.
Finally going into Maelstrom. I almost said Chronojet. I don't know what is wrong with me today. You know, funny enough, I do not know much about the Maelstrom matchup. I do know that once written upon, I think it's the grade 2 skill, you check for a Tear Dragon or Maelstrom.
I believe so.
Or like, I think it's Tear Dragon or Blue Wave. No, Blue Storm. It's one of those two. But it does look like he did get the inlet pulse on the top call, get in onto the field. And here we go, playing the Maelstrom, Judgment Maelstrom order on.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We are back.
So going in does look like he had pushed him 2-3 damage early in the round. But what's really good is he gets the counterblast he does need, goes into his Chronojet, searching for the bailiff, adding the bailiff to hand. Alright, what is going to be kind of interesting here, he's going to get that draw from the bailiff when discarded and be able to go into, does believe it's going to be Fate Rider because that is his only option here.
Yeah, he has gone into the Fate Rider, and we're going to see some rewinds and time leaping for the first time on stream today.
So we are going to be sending the back row rearguard to the bottom of the deck. Probably a good call because of what effects they acquire. Now, I couldn't get a good look at the back row rearguard, but the whole reason for this tactic is to limit the amount of counterblast one has, or to pretty much get the rearguards off the field to more is committed from hand from your opponent during the following turn. It doesn't look like he's having an issue deciding what to call. It is going to be the Brainwash Swirler on play, soul charging one. And, ooh, soul charging the upstream dragon into the soul. That's something that you want to see on the field, my dude.
Very, very unlucky for Nathaniel, but he does at least have the Swirler. He was able to hit one of his core staples and get his resources going, drawing a card there, gaining advantage.
GG coming to the back row, and it does look like he's going for the grade 2 interceptor.
I do believe we're going to see the full set of swings coming out from Nathaniel. 13 over here, coming at the van.
Going to the Vanguard, does decide to guard with the 5K guard. Here we go with Fate Rider, Spain cost the counterblast 1, turning another card face up in Jizo, most likely a Chrono Dragon next stage, and saying the Brainwash Word to get the upstream dragon.
Very, very, very high value play, very much thanks to the new starter decks, and this is very, very on brand for Gear Chronicle, bringing back an old school clan, old school fan favorite, into a new light with some very powerful abilities and putting it on the board as a contender right out of the gate.
100%, and with that flip up, the Fromo did get an additional 5K power, and he had to choose where to give 5K for Fate Rider. It doesn't look like he chose to give it to the grade 2.
The greatest strength of Stride units, triple drive.
And we said it earlier, he is hitting his triggers, and there they are, pulling the critical, giving the crit to Vanguard, power to upstream dragon. It does look like he got the over trigger over there, pretty much kind of ending the turn here, but it does look like he is going to probably work towards the rear guard and possibly generate what he needs. It does look like he's saying the Fate Rider, sorry, upstream dragon back to deck, calling a grade 1, and it does look like he went with, is that the Acrobat?
I believe that is indeed Acrobat. Nonetheless, very, very, very eventful turn for Nathaniel, halted by Rashaad with that very lucky overtrigger. We're going to see him be able to recover from that deficit and advantage, hopefully, and get some benefit from it. Very difficult matchup, though, for Stoichea, especially Maelstrom, as Gear Chronicle tends to rush through their units rather quickly and force Rashaad to push them into the Guardian Circle from rear guard. And we have a Persona ride from Rashaad.
All right.
We have returned again. Apologies for technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
I think we're pretty much good, but we do want to see a little bit of the matchup here. We are currently starting it off with the inlet swing coming from the rear guard to the Vanguard. This does look like a 22K swing, I want to say. Does this guy guard with the 50K guard. And here we go, going in with the 13. Gotta love that glare. I'm gonna say the 21k attacking swing.
Inlet Pulse doing a lot of work for Stoikea. This is a card coming very clutch in many a matchup, in many a strategy. Just being a very solid unit for all around Stoikea.
Yep, it does look like Nathaniel is going to be going through 5 damage here. Does look like he is increasing the shield with his Ray and getting critical trigger and draw trigger, giving both to Vanguard. He doesn't end up taking it and hits another upstream. Does look like Rashaad is taking game 1.
Very surprising from Rashaad, but very well played for what resources he had to manage, and especially very lucky that he pulled that over trigger, defending him from that first stride turn of Dark States. Chronojet notoriously being able to spin out of control as a figure of speech with those strides.
What is going to be kind of interesting, though, going into game 2 over here is just overall card resource, like you said, but also,
I don't know if you saw this, but Nathaniel pretty much damaged 2 of his upstream dragon, soul charge 1, so
he had no luck with those soul charges, but he did have luck with his triggers. It was not enough though.
Exactly.
Being very difficult to recover from charging your key units or damaging them it's just devastating, man, especially when you lose a combo piece. Rashaad and Nathaniel deciding their mulligans now. I do believe they are mulligan 1 for Daniel, mulligan 2 for Rashaad. Let's see who's paid off the best. We do see Rashaad taking advantage of his ride line very well and surviving that turn 1 rush from Nathaniel. I do believe that is the Maelstrom or Maelstrom, I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm checking some equipment right now. I can't really see what the glare is right on top right there.
Should be easier to.
Alright, here we go. Going into swing here. Sorry, apologies. Not going into Chronojet, searching the deck for Bailiff or Valley. Adding Valley to hand, and it does look like we are going to be getting the field right turn. Now, I do enjoy the idea that we do have a new Chronojet set. Now, what's kind of slightly a bummer, but it's understandable, is that most of the turn is pretty much orchestrated. Like, you already know what's happening by the time it searches for new rights is grade 3, war card is going to go into. No Chronojet player is going to go into Chrono Dragon next stage on first stride. So you're always going to see fate right there.
I do believe that is just a side effect of it being so early days into the Overdress stride format. As more decks come out and as more G zones are added back into Vanguard, we're going to see more interesting plays come about. Especially excited for the Messiah set coming up. That's going to change the landscape a bit as well for Brandgate as a whole.
What's kind of interesting, he decides not to go into Favorite, funny enough here.
He does get the critical, however, and a swirler off the top with those drive checks. That's going to be devastating for Rashaad. He's going to have to end up tolerating that damage and having to deal with heavy setup for Nathaniel's next turn.
Rashaad going into 3 damage. And I forgot to put Nathaniel's 1. Perplexed. I don't know why. So I'm pretty much paused right now because I'm trying to process the reasons for not going into Favorite.
Is it possible Nathaniel didn't have a 3 in hand?
You search for one on right. You get Bailey.
I'm very confused then.
I mean, he only has 1 counter blast, right?
Well, if Nathaniel was going first, wouldn't that mean he got to grade 3 before?
Yeah. Sorry. That is the case.
I do believe we lost track of that.
He went first, yeah. I just assumed you could stride right off the bat right now. Broke a little bit.
This isn't premium, sir. You can't superior stride on a grade 2. Soon, very soon. That'll be tomorrow.
But this look like gets the inlet on top. Decides to discard. Call out. Just a 13k beater. Swinging in for 13 over here. He's taking 20 damage because on the swing he does get to restand and swing once more for 13. So he's trying to poke at him a little bit. And decides to take it once more. Gets the critical trigger, going to 3 damage. And here we go with the inlet attacking for I want to say 23 because he did get the defensive.
I do believe that is indeed 23 with the inlet intercept from Nathaniel there. And finally the Vanguard swing.
And then he's guarding for 38.
Triggered
First check, heals 1 damage.
Second check, nothing. Very solid turn from Rashaad though. Nice use of advantage, gaining back what cards he spent on Nathaniel's first grade 3 turn, but hopefully he will not have to spend too much to survive the stride.
Does look like Sky Bailey finally going to his favorite. Currently has nothing on board, and because of Rashaad clearing up the field, it doesn't look like he's going to be kind of asking 1-2 returning back to the bottom, so he does decide to call the upstream to the field.
It will be interesting to see how Nathaniel tries to recover from an empty board state. Not being able to abuse the on-stride of the Fate Rider is kind of difficult for the deck.
Finally calls the Brainwasher, getting the 5k, becoming a 13k place, and still trying to get a trigger, but that is going to be okay for the long run. Now, do we see an early turn GG? And yes, we do. Because GG's being on place and so blessed 2, it's going to gain. I'm sorry. It would gain 5k if it was called by ability, but being placed from hand is just going to be an 8k booster. Sorry. 8k and 2k become a 10k booster.
You see the shield come down.
Returning upstream, calling a booster for Brainwash Swirler. Choices usually are either another Brainwasher, a Gun Ram, or a GG. Let's see what he gets.
I think the correct choice might be the GG if he goes with it.
I do think he raised Soul Blaster too, so probably using it once more is going to be a little bit difficult, but we'll see what comes out of it.
Looks like he is thinking on the GG. He might actually switch up and go for the gun though, if he plays the gun.
Yep, and it
Nope.
does look like
He is going
the
for the
GG.
GG.
because GG was placed by card's ability, gained 5k power.
Very solid numbers from Nathaniel there, doing a 26 column standby before the Vanguard even swings, as we say so.
Doesn't look like he has the soul
skill.
for the draw, but ends up using the skill, returning the grade 1 on the previous column, and calling out the upstream once more. If you missed him, he has returned.
Your boy is back as he flips any card in
And
the
because another card face up, Throne gains an additional 5k power, and he chose to give the extra 5k from Fey Rider's skill to Upstream Dragon.
signified by the 6 on the card as he fumbled the die.
First check, Upstream. Second check,
Over trigger. Devastating for Rashaad.
So
The
it
Dark
does look
State's
like
over trigger being very difficult to deal with when checked offensively.
it does look like your Chrono Dragon next stage. Sorry, Chronojet crest is now an extra 10k stronger for the Vanguard alone.
Insane numbers coming out from Nathaniel's side thanks to that over trigger. We get to see him pop off on this turn as he goes upstream back in the deck, grabbing another unit, going in for a total of, I believe it was 4 or 5 attacks.
Yes, so he did get a total of 4 attempts. Now, what will be kind of interesting here is if he decides to go into Chrono Dragon next stage on the following turn. Because of the over trigger, he is pretty much pushing forward game because he is confirmed a critical on the Vanguard.
Rashaad only has a single turn, I believe, to respond and push Nathaniel to game because of that over trigger. And I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off, but Stoicheia does have many tricks in its books, and Rashaad is a very skilled player. See the turn pass back. We have Rashaad again popping down on the Maelstrom order. Being able to chain those turn to turn does give the deck so much more threat capacity. Rashaad is making his decisions here. Friendly reminder, patrons, that we are going to have another stream tomorrow for the premium PS5 tournament with no over trigger in the format. As you may have heard in the background from our head Judge Peter, there is a 10-minute, sorry, 20-minute remainder of the time. I'm gonna go clarify. It is clarified. There is indeed 20 minutes left in the round. It was a slight slip up phonetically from our head judge. We do see Rashaad pushing that damage with the Vanguard.
The pressure's not pretty much enough since he's at grade 2. He has all the options in the world, so Nathaniel is probably going to be fine. He can't be like killed off on this turn. Goes for the mirror guard swing, gets the critical. And
Double trigger from Rashaad. Very nice,
second
but
one's no trigger. Ends up taking it. Damage 2, go to 5, and 6.
that is game. Rashaad being able to pull off the comeback from that devastating over trigger from Nathaniel. We are going to end that game in Rashaad's favor.
Yeah, it does look like the round is finished here. It does look like Rashaad took both games. Second game pretty much gained the double critical, putting